Alright, welcome to the Backlog. We're back again! And my name is Shar, and here with me
Erica.
is Erica.
What's up?
She's there.
I'm here. Tired, but I'm here.
But we love you guys, that's why we do this, so we're here to do this for you. We got a couple topics today. Couple of them, and then we got our top 5 at the end, like we're always gonna do. It's gonna be a fun time. So, start things off, that hot God of War gameplay came out couple weeks ago now? Like 3 weeks ago?
Well, it was first leaked like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then they had like official gameplay released, revealed. Yeah.
Was it the official gameplay video was published on March 19th? So quite a while ago now.
Okay, that's been a while.
It's been a hot minute, you know. But regardless, I haven't really talked about it that much anywhere, but I just wanted to say that I'm super fucking hyped for this because, like, oh my god, God of War is so much fun. Like, the games are just fun in general, and this brings a lot of new stuff to the table, which I'm glad they kind of did, but they also have that God of War vibe that I'm glad they stuck with as well. Like, I don't know, I'm still kind of on the fence about his weapon, insofar as, like, it's definitely different than the weapons he's had before, but I guess that's a story point that that's gonna be revealed when we play the game. But other than that, everything looks good to me.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot different. And as far as the weapon, you're talking about the axe he has?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think there's like a weapon wheel that maybe it shows he's gonna get more weapons, possibly. At least that's what people are predicting. So I don't know. There could be all kinds of crazy combos and who knows what.
Yeah, there's gotta be a weapon wheel. People were saying a weapon wheel. There's also that shop that we saw, and I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the layout right now, and you can definitely upgrade your weapon, but it's different for the God of War series because you can actually, like, there's like an actual shop. I think, and someone will have to quote me on this probably, but in the previous God of War games, for the most part, upgrading was used, like, there was a currency you got for upgrading, and then you could just go into your menu and do it whenever you wanted in the game. Because the game was, like, almost seamless, kind of, so you could just, like, after you fought a whole bunch of enemies, you could just, like, open your menu and, like, upgrade right on the spot. I remember doing that in quite a few of them, because I've played quite a few of them. But this one is different because there's, like, an actual, like, shop, and I feel, and we'll have to watch this video again over like 100 times, but I think you're gonna have to, like, pick up different items in the world to be able to, like, upgrade stuff. Yeah, so that might be a thing. And it looks like you can also make items, possibly, like healing items, question mark.
That's possible.
And there's definitely, like, a money, like a currency of some kind. So I don't know. That's definitely new and different to the game, which I'm totally fine with, honestly.
Also,
like,
oh, sorry, cut you off, but the armor, right? Because, like, he's taking pieces and, like, he's probably upgrading those, making them stronger, or maybe you can buy different ones that, like, look different. That's what I'm thinking. That would be pretty awesome.
Yo, we get fashion souls in our God of War game now? Hell yeah.
I'm down. You know, I know you're down. I'm down.
I'm so freaking down, dude. So good.
But yeah, you said you've played most of the games? The God of War games?
I got, like, a couple. For PS3, they released 2 different, like, HD whatever collections or whatever, and I played 1 and 2, and I think I've played both of the PSP ones that were released on PSP. That all came to PS3 eventually. And you can get them in different bundles or whatever. I don't recall playing Ascension, but I'd have to, like, watch some gameplay to, like, jog my memory on it, but I don't think I've played Ascension yet. Okay,
so, but you're pretty familiar, like, you have a lot of experience. Way more than me. That's the point I'm getting to, because I was going to say, I've only played some of the first one, which it was cool, but I did end up putting it down. And then right now, I'm actually playing God of War 3. I started my playthrough a couple days ago. So I'm planning on finishing it before this new one comes out. But that's really the only experience I'm going to have. But just from what I've played, like, there's a lot of different things going on in this new one. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, because don't get me wrong, I think the gameplay's cool in God of War 3. I think like a lot of it's like the big set pieces and the bosses and everything look awesome. But like, it feels a little outdated. A little bit. Like
I mean, that game did come out
I
for
know.
the PS3 like ages ago. Like
I
we
know.
haven't had a God of War game for like literal like 5 years, I want to say.
I know, true, but I'm just saying like I think even though I don't have a bunch of experience, I could see like why they want to take a new direction. Just because like yeah, the quick time events and then you have like the button mashing to open a chest. Those kinds of things, they just feel old. So I'm hyped for the new look and gameplay and the combat, especially. I think the combat I'm really gonna love, because you know, I mean, some people try and say, well, it's kind of Dark Souls-ish now. I don't really think it reminds me of Dark Souls, but I could see how they're saying that because of like the parrying and like the shields and dodging and all that stuff. So I think that whether it's like Dark Souls or not, just those things in general, I'm a big fan of. So I'm looking forward to that. And throwing that axe just looks freaking cool.
Oh my god. Throwing that axe looks so fucking juicy. Like, oh.
It's so nice to look at. I can't imagine that getting old.
Yeah,
I really can't.
It's like, and I don't know how much I'm going to use it, but the fact that you throw it at an enemy and it like freezes that enemy and then you can like punch other enemies, like that they put a lot of thought into the gameplay, I think, which I probably won't use half of it because I just button mash and I'll probably get through the game. But I also kind of like also I kind of like also that that how like all of the God of War games before this have been like Kratos' journey through like Greece and like Rome and like using those gods over and over and over again. Like I've played at least 3 or 4 of these games and every single one of them is like, oh my god, Ares was a bitch and like, you know, Zeus is here and you gotta beat Zeus or whatever. You're like all that stuff. This time we get Norse gods, which is gonna be freaking hype because I can't wait to see like all of like Norse mythology and like if I don't know if like Kratos has like some kind of like narrative on that because he comes from like Greek stuff. So I'm really curious to see like how that plays out. I mean, we know that the boy can read stuff and Kratos can't read stuff because he's not a Viking. So
right.
That's gonna play into it a lot. It's gonna be interesting, anyways. So I'm happy. I want to see how this Greek guy goes through the world of like the Norse mythology and all that stuff. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and just him as a dad too. You know
how
much he's changed and all of that. Because like the first game, I got to the point, you know, where he's like messing around with women and being all crazy. You know? So it's just weird to see that, and then now it's like he's this older dad now, and he's looking after this kid. Yeah. So speaking of,
he's a ripped dad.
He's ripped, yeah. But speaking of the kid, because you brought up like how the kid can, you know, he can read the language, but of course Kratos can't. So that's kind of like giving him some reason to be there. Because I was kind of worried about the kid, like, why, you know, is he going to get annoying? Is he going to just be shoehorned in here? But no, it seems like he really has a purpose. And like he's going to find himself. He's going to figure out like who his dad is, maybe. And that, I think just watching that is going to be pretty cool to see.
Yeah. And you can use him in combat too in cool ways. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, like you can control him with his bow and arrow, I think with square or something. And so as you're fighting, you're doing your thing and you can just have him ready to shoot whenever you're ready. And I think that's awesome.
That's another layer I'm not going to be using probably, but it's there for me to use. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come natural. At first, it might feel kind of weird, but yeah.
I have one thing I'm kind of worried about. When I was watching the gameplay walkthrough thing, the developer or whatever thing they were doing, I was watching it and I was kind of a tiny bit worried that the areas might be too small, but like thinking back on like the other God of War games, like those areas were kind of small in places too, but then there were also like really open spaces where you had to fight like mobs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We saw like a very tiny bit of it, but I hope that there's gonna be some like vastness to it in some way. Whether that's like we move through areas quickly and get to see a lot of areas, or there's just like a big open area, which I know people are probably like not keen on right now, but I just want like some kind of like variety to happen, which I'm sure will happen, but I want to see how they'll do it.
Yeah. I'm thinking there will be. I mean, they're saying everything we've seen was only within the first 2 hours of the game. And they're saying it's like a 30-hour game. So there's a lot to be seen. Yeah. And then do you think the camera angle has to do with that? Like maybe it's making everything look smaller?
That is a possibility, because in the earlier games, you definitely had areas where it was zoomed out and there was just like Kratos was like tiny on the screen and you would have to fight like mobs of things. So maybe, yeah, over the shoulder is like why I feel like it's so small, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, like it just kind of makes it more close-quartered, I guess.
Yeah. I'm also worried about enemies coming up behind me with the over-the-shoulder thing, too.
Yeah, well, that's what the boy's for. He's going to say, behind you, stuff like that.
I gotta listen to him now.
Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't get annoying or anything, but he'll say, like, Dad, behind you, or, you know, stuff like that. It'll be interesting. I think it's going to be good. I'm excited. Man, just the graphics.
As long as the puzzles are good.
Oh, yeah, the puzzles, but the graphics, though?
The graphics are so good.
Man. Ugh. Just awesome. I don't know if you saw the part where he was like fighting that troll, that big troll with like, he's holding like a pillar, and he's just
I think
like,
I saw part of that, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like trying to bash you with that pillar, and it's just like, man, it's so good.
So good.
I can't wait. And that's not even a boss. That's like just a mini boss.
Mini boss, yeah. Man, what are the bosses gonna look like, dude?
I can't even imagine. Like, I'm trying to picture like the scale of them, like how big they're gonna be.
Oh my god.
And with that, like, I know it's gonna zoom out a little bit, but still it's gonna feel very, like, you're very close to Kratos. So I'm just wondering, like, how big are these bosses gonna be?
I just hope they kind of don't. Maybe I do hope that they do this. I don't know. But there's parts in, like, where you're fighting a boss, and I'm sure you've had this in other games, where it's like half of the arena, like the boss is so big that like half of the arena is where you have to go to hit the boss, but the boss has like AoE attacks or whatever that come at you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know how
somewhat.
to explain myself that way. But God of War had like I felt like God of War had a lot of those, and I kind of feel like I want that to happen, but at the same time I don't want that to happen, because I also want to see what they'll do otherwise, and not have to like resort to that, because oh my god, the boss is so big, you can't like run under him, he's just massive. And I'm like, no, I want to run around like like Shadow of Colossus, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, because I don't know if they want to, because you brought up Shadow of the Colossus, like, you feel so tiny in that game, you know? Yeah. You're nobody. So maybe they don't, I don't know if they'd want to do that and make Kratos seem like nobody. Like, they want to keep him big and strong, you know what I mean?
But I want to climb on a boss as Kratos. That'd be so dope.
That would be cool. To finish him off at least with the axe. At least.
Or a quick time event.
Like, true, but it'll look amazing, so.
Yeah.
They're going to have some in there. I mean, that's for sure going to happen, I would think. True. Yeah, and then you have like the little boost moments, you know, where the kid gets up there, or you have to boost him up. Then he pulls down a chain or something for Kratos to climb. Like that was in the leaked gameplay. So I saw that and I was kind of worried, like, man, I hope there's not a lot of those. But I guess we'll see. I always see that as like a Sony thing. that's a PlayStation thing. It's just, it really is. Like, it's in a lot of games, like The Last of Us, Uncharted. You know what I mean? So my worry up front was like, man, I don't want a lot of those. But the more gameplay I'm seeing, it's like I haven't even thought about that anymore. Like, that's the only time I've seen it. So I'm just really, really wanting to be into that combat. Like, I want to experience a lot of that combat and less like walking and boosting. That's my thing.
Yeah,
but
less walking.
Yeah, and they're gonna have the puzzles too, which I'm sure are gonna be cool. You brought that up earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so. Yeah. They do puzzles real good.
Yeah, well, so far in God of War 3, I haven't really... Okay, there's been one, I think. One major puzzle.
Some of them are kind of annoying because like they really relied on like timed stuff in the earlier games, I feel, and I was just like not a fan. I got through it, but it was definitely one of those things that was like, oh, I'm timed, fuck.
Yeah.
And you have to like execute things like perfectly to get it.
Didn't we talk about this like back in the day, like pet peeves, and wasn't this one of them? Or something like that?
Oh yeah, I always bring up time things as being a pet peeve.
Because the one I experienced in God of War 3, yeah, it was timed. I had to like use his wings to like boost up through this like wind, and I had to do it like within a certain amount of time. Yeah,
it's not my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, maybe there would be a couple of those, but as long as it's creative and not frustrating and it's like doable, I'll be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, God of War. Anything else?
That was that. I can't think of anything else.
I think we covered
just a lot of stuff we haven't seen yet. Really.
We covered a lot.
Covered a lot.
Yeah.
And then so our next topic is kind of, I don't know what this topic is, but we're just gonna talk anyways. So we played. If people don't know on the internet already, we played A Way Out together.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago. A week ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And we played it, and like, God fucking damn it if I don't want more games like that in my life now. Like, holy shit. I love everything that they did with that game. And just like, can we get more games like this? Like, I know that we've had there was like a huge boom in like open world games are coming back, and there's just like a million of those now. But like, can this be the new hotness that like comes to video games? Because I'd love to play split screen with my friends like this all the time.
Right? I'm with you. Like, there needs to be more of these, especially when you get to buy one copy for both people.
Oh, Lord.
How can you even hate on that? Like, that was awesome. Those devs, like, they took care of us, you know, it was nice. But yeah, I would love to play more games like this. Like, imagine like horror games or like something, you know what I mean? Something different, like different genres. It would be awesome.
Oh my god. Horror would be absolutely perfect for this, actually.
Can you imagine?
Oh my god.
And you have to like escape somewhere or something's all dark. We have to like help each other. I don't know. But yeah, I was gonna say, for the people listening, like me and Shar, we always want to play games together. Like we're like, okay, we should stream something together. I always end up like, I'll look for games on Steam. We'll try and, you know what I mean, like get the same game or whatever. And there's just never really that game that has like spoke to us as much as this one, because this one came out. It was perfect. It was short, sweet, and we had an awesome time. Like,
there's action combat in there for Eric. Like, story for me, and the feels at the end. Oh Lord,
the feels,
my guy. Oh my god.
Yeah, and just like, and I mentioned this in my review, like how we kind of took on those personas. Like, we kind of acted like that was really us.
Yeah.
So like,
it was us.
Yeah, because you were Leo, right? And then I was Vincent. Yeah, I remember. Okay, I was Vincent. And so anytime Char's character did something funny or vice versa, we would call it out like why did you do that? Or, you know, we were just acting like that was really us doing it. So like this game was just awesome. I highly recommend it. If you have a friend to play with, definitely play it. The only bad thing is that if you don't have a friend, you can't matchmake online. So you're kind of screwed.
I mean, yeah.
Like, you can't play it.
But if you don't have friends on PSN, then like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, guy. Like,
you'd be surprised. Like, I actually had people tweeting me like,
That's
"Hey,
true,
I don't have anyone to play." Or they actually came in my stream and they were in the chat like, "Hey, can someone play with me?" Like, they were searching for someone. I was like, "Oh, poor guys." You know,
then, that's a really good opportunity to make friends. You know what I mean?
True. I'm just sorry I couldn't help them, because I'm like, well, I'm already playing it.
Well, kind of playing the game right now.
But I even have a friend on Twitter, longtime subscriber of mine and everything, and I think he didn't buy the game because of that. He's like, oh, I'm not going to buy it because I don't have no one to play with. I was like, oh, that sucks. You know?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just so lucky to have so many gamer friends that I'm just like, whenever somebody's like, I don't have any like video games to play, like I don't have anybody to play this specific game with me, like A Way Out specifically. I just like sit there and I'm like, really? Like you can't really? Like even somebody who doesn't play video games, you can't get that person to sit down and play that game with you? Like
that's
I
true.
don't know.
Like couch co-op maybe. At least get like a sibling or significant other or somebody.
Somebody from like
But not everybody's as popular as you, Shar. Come on.
Right. Well, you know what? That's not what I was trying to say.
No, I'm kidding, but no, you're right. That is true. Like they could always try and ask just one of their friends in real life or a sibling, like I said, or somebody.
And like I'm not trying to put down like super introverts. Like I'm an introvert too, but like I'm not trying to like be like, oh, you should be more social. I'm not trying to tell you guys that. I'm just trying to like wrap my head around the fact that like I just can't see how somebody doesn't have anybody in their life that is not willing to play a video game with them, even if they don't like video games. So, especially with that game, because that game is actually a pretty good... Would you say that that game is a pretty good game for, like, an introduction to video games?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For sure. I could see, like, my sister playing that or something. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I just think... That's my opinion anyways.
As long as they could look down in time and see what button to press, like, oh, that's X, and press it, then they're good. Yeah. They're good.
And there's only like two buttons for the QuickTime events? There's only two, right?
It's like X and square. Few. I think triangle was one at one point. I thought, wasn't there like a counter move? Was that triangle?
I thought that was square, but whatever.
Maybe it's square, I don't know. But there's also like the chase scenes too, so you kind of have to control vehicles and shoot things, and yeah, that might be kind of tough for somebody who's not a gamer, but I think this game, compared to other games, it's easier to pick up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, hell, you can play Connect 4 in that game.
Yeah, and the checkpoints are very generous, so if you like die or something, you just pick right back up for the most part. So it's not too trying on somebody, you know. But yeah, so we played that. Anything else you've been playing? I guess we might as well mention it.
Anything else I've been playing recently?
Just recently. Real quickly, yeah. What you been playing?
I finally finished Final Fantasy 15 this past week.
Oh, how was it? The ending?
I have mixed feelings about it, honestly.
I heard they're fixing the ending. Is that true?
Yeah, but they're doing it in like kind of like an expansion kind of an idea, and I'm kind of like really fucking disappointed at how they like handled that. So I don't know how I feel about it. So
because I put that game down like a while ago.
Well, I heard somebody say, I was watching like a review of some kind or whatever, but I didn't watch all of it, but like she basically said at the beginning of the video, she was like, I feel like this game was made by 3 different people.
Oh,
like
dang.
the beginning of the game was made by one person, the middle was by another, and the ending was made by a completely different person. And I just was like, I finished the game and I sat back and I was like, damn, that's so accurate. Like I feel like if you put the game down too, it's just like it's really hard to pick up because the ending goes so fast. Like it's still quite like there's a couple hours of gameplay at the end, obviously, but like at a certain point, it's just like, oh, remember that story that we introduced to you, like, 30 hours ago before we sent you into the world? Yeah, by the way, we're finishing that right the fuck now. And it was just like, a torrent of information and characters and plot that I couldn't wrap my head around because I had already forgotten what had happened. So if you don't play it in like this huge ass chunk, then I feel like a lot of the ending is like lost on you. Anyways, it's turning into a review now. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay. Just let it flow.
So, yeah. So anyways, I basically have mixed feelings on it. It was overall a good game, but I don't really see myself going back and playing like the expansions because they have like the character episodes or whatever. And apparently those were supposed to be a part of the game in the beginning, but they didn't have time to finish them, so they just made them into episodes later. And I'm like, well, fuck, this game wasn't even done when it was done. So I just was like, I was really disappointed in that. But anyways, I got other stuff to play, so I'm going to keep playing other video games, just to keep moving on with my life.
Yeah, to forget that. Get that taste out of your mouth.
Yeah, and then other stuff I've been playing, I I've played count it, one chapter of the Game of Thrones Telltale game.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I saw you were streaming that the other day.
Yeah, I played the first episode and already got like super anxiety from like all of my choices. So it's like all these characters are gonna die.
Oh man, how about them graphics though?
Them graphics though. Holy shit, it's great. And then
that might be the ugliest Telltale game, like of the recent ones.
Weird. It's pretty weird. All the characters look so different. It's great. And then my favorite MMO, Terra, came out for PS4 and Xbox for open beta this week, I believe. It came out like 3 days ago. It started, so that's there, and I've been playing another character on that. And then last night or the night before, I started the Dragon Ball Online MMO that got revived it's on a private server, basically. It's not an official release of the game. The official release of the game was ended years ago now, but somebody revived it with a private server, so I've just been playing through that because it's fun.
So you've been busy. Well, you've been on spring break, so
I'm on spring break, so yeah, no, I
all
just
the
got a lot of
games.
time.
I said to list them quickly, man. We've been here for an hour.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, what have you been playing? I'm sure it's a shorter
It's
list.
super short. Like I said, the God of War 3. You know, I started that, and I've just been playing Bloodborne here and there. When I stream, I just been streaming
Man,
Bloodborne.
why don't you play other video games?
Because I mean, it's Bloodborne season right now. It was free on PS Plus. Everyone was playing it. I'm like, man, I really want to play Bloodborne.
It's not anymore. They have the new games out now.
Hey, it's still Bloodborne season in my heart. Okay. No, but that's it. That's pretty much it.
I see.
Just waiting for that God of War. I'm ready. I'm so ready. But yeah, we could get to the next topic, which is kind of like our main topic, I guess.
Question mark? We've already talked a while, but
yeah.
So I saw a thing on Twitter like a couple weeks ago when I was thinking about what the topics for the next backlog should be, and I came across this thing that was going on Twitter of the president of the United States was going into talks about video games and how they're that was that whole thing about video games is an addiction kind of thing. So I was just thinking about when does gaming actually become an addiction?
That's a good question.
Isn't it though?
I think it's when you're on spring break and you played 5 games.
All right, you know what?
I'm kidding.
Tell me these things.
I'm kidding. Damn. Okay, so the one thing that comes to my head right away is just you don't get anything else done. You're just your other things suffer. Whether it's your job, your relationships, you know what I mean, things like that. You're not showering. You're up all night. You're legit telling people you don't want to go somewhere because all you want to do is play a certain game. I think when it comes to that point, you're going in late to work, you're skipping work, you're losing that job, and yeah, that's where my mind goes with it. I don't know if yours does.
It definitely does go there, but of course that's the insane extreme. And not everybody is that in that extreme kind of
yeah, well there's got to be a spectrum or whatever. But
that's exactly what this topic is. So when does the spectrum of that start then? Because if that's the extreme and I don't want to say casual gamers, but casual gamers are the low end of the spectrum where some people would buy maybe one game a month and that's all they play for that month, but they're also going to work, and that's why they only buy one game, is because they don't have the time to invest in multiple games. So maybe that's the lower end of the spectrum. But when it becomes to the point of maybe I'm thinking maybe buy 5 games a month and you just you still have that job, but your social life takes a hit because you're playing video games.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I draw the line, kinda.
I think I'm borderline sometimes addicted then, because there's times don't get me wrong, I like to spend time with friends and go out. I definitely love spending time with my best friends and family. But then there's times where I won't reach out or make plans because I have plans for a video game because it's coming out that day or something like that, and it's like all I could think about. I'm excited. I'll go to work, but when I come home, like, it's on. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is that kind of borderline? I don't know.
I mean, I kind of have that. I don't have it anymore. I kind of had that for a while though, where I was like, oh my god, no video game, gotta play it. So like, I guess if there's no other like negative, I want to say negative effects, because addiction is like a negative.
Yeah, there's got to be negative consequences.
Yeah. So like, there's no negative consequences to it. I don't want to really classify it as an addiction. Because then an addiction means that Erica, you need to go get some help.
Like, they gotta rip me off my gaming chair and like getting you outside. Go take a shower.
Yeah, you gotta like go to GA, Gamers Anonymous, you know.
Yeah.
But that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, there's people out there who are like buying like, you know, a whole bunch of games. Like, if it's cutting into like your life savings and like money that you need, then it starts to be, that's the point where it's like, it starts to get really serious.
Yeah. What about like they call them whales, the ones that are just constantly buying microtransactions and they go into debt and they spend their whole paycheck on like one game that's free, but then they just buy a bunch of stuff? I
feel like that's also a classification of addiction.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because yeah, you're spending money you don't have for things that you do need. So it's like if somebody's like a meth addict, they're gonna spend all their money on meth and not on the, like, they're not spending their money on the stuff that they need to survive.
Right.
Like, that's definitely an addiction.
Or like, yeah, or you end up having to steal just to feed that addiction. God. Like, that's too far. Like, you're stealing to pay for a game. Yeah, you've hit that rock bottom, I think. And just spending way beyond your means, like you said, you're not taking care of things that you need, whether it's a bill or just food, whatever. You're using that money to buy games. I think that's like crossing the line.
Definitely.
Yeah. So as far as Trump and all what he's saying, I mean, they had a whole montage. I think it was the White House YouTube. They put a montage of like all the violent video games they could come up with. They're like, look, they're violent. And so when it comes
everything else in the fucking media,
like, I know, right? But I feel like video games are always kind of used to just make an example of, is that what I'm trying to say? Or like a scapegoat, like, oh, this is, you know, they try and make them look bad and try and say you're addicted just because you play a lot. And it's like, no, there's more to it. Like, there's got to be really, you know, bad consequences. Like I said, like, with the jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like the same thing as like, if you see like a completely functional gambler, like, is that gambler like addicted? No, because they still have a life and they're still keeping it together, but they go gamble because they want to.
Yeah, and they got the money to
doesn't destroy their life. They're not addicted.
Yeah.
No, it also has a lot to do with like your personality too, right? Because there's like addictive personalities that like people just go too far because like some of them just can't help it.
Yeah.
Like, I go back to gambling again, but there's a ton of people who are like gambling addicts because they just can't help it, right?
Right.
So it's like, I feel like that kind of personality also plays into that, but no one ever talks about that because it's just like, oh, that's an abnormality that just like happens. And I'm like, well, but that's the worst that can happen. That's the extreme, and you're using that to like classify everybody as like this.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's just untrue at that point.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic though. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can't have a lot of comment on it because I don't do my homework on these things, so whatever.
Well, when it came to this backlog, I mean, we only really prepped with our top 5. We didn't really. I didn't prep on anything else.
What is prep?
What is that? We wing these things. That's what makes it good, though, I think. It makes it better. If it's too scripted, I think people would just see through it. It wouldn't be entertaining.
Speaking of no prep, you wanted to do that top 5?
Yes, let's do it. I actually came up with the top 5 this week, you guys. You should be very proud. Give this video a like because you're proud of me. No, but top 5 this week is gonna be our top 5 childhood movies. So I kind of mentioned criteria beforehand. I think we have different criteria, but I just want to say mine real quick. When I think of childhood movies, obviously it was when I was a kid. It can't be movies when that I saw as a teenager or beyond. And I myself, for my list, I tried to stick to movies that were kind of aimed at kids, and were definitely movies that, how do I put it? Like, I guess I know for sure I saw them as a kid. I watched them over and over. That was kind of part of my criteria. And also memories that go along with the movies, like childhood memories. So that's how I kind of made my list. I don't know what you did.
I kind of did the same thing, although my memory is pretty fuzzy on when I watched a lot of these, so I tried to keep it to ones that I could kind of pinpoint closer to, like, younger ages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you were telling me beforehand, like, your parents were kind of strict. They didn't want you to watch certain movies, so you watched them later on. So you're kind of unsure when exactly you saw these movies.
Yeah, despite them coming out, like, around the time that I was, like, born and growing up.
Yeah. So
you can go first, then.
You want me to go first? I feel like I have the ultimate list, though. I feel like the suspense needs to be built.
Man, all right, fine. I'll go first, then.
Or we could do one at a time. Like, you do one, I do one. Do you want to do that? Or should we just do our own?
Oh, let's do that.
Okay, you go first, then.
All right, so the first one, not the first one I wrote down, but the first one that I have written down is Princess Bride.
That's a good one.
Because, god damn it, did I watch that movie so many times. It was just, it's such a good movie. It's so good. Everybody's so good in it, and the plot is great, and there's just great. There's moments where it's, as a kid, it totally goes over your head, and then you watch it later, and you're like, oh damn, they were making a goddamn, that Mel Brooks, damn you. But yeah.
I love Mel Brooks. He made Spaceballs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love Spaceballs. That almost made my list, by the way. That was very close. Very, very close. But yeah, The Princess Bride, that's a good one. Me and my sister used to watch that.
Yeah.
A lot. But, all right, my first one. This might be the best one. I've been wanting to watch it just from thinking about this list. Now I want to watch this movie so bad right now. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh my god.
One of the best movies ever. Ever. Right? Am I right? Am I lying?
I remember watching it. I've only watched it once, and I gotta go back and watch it again.
Oh, I watched it countless times. Like, I don't know if we had it recorded on tape or what, but we had it. I know we did. I don't know where it's at now. But damn, that was a good movie. I don't care about the sequels, none of that crap. Just the original Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Great, so great movie. Just the whole concept, what's not to love about that? Getting shrunk, you're in the backyard, you got to deal with all the ants and all the crazy bugs and stuff going on. All the water from the sprinklers. It was crazy. And then when they're in the Cheerios, in the bowl of Cheerios.
Oh my god. Oh
my god. Good. So good. So yeah, that's my first one.
That's really good. God damn it. All right. Well, my second one is an animated film, but it's not Disney, curiously enough. It is I think it was DreamWorks. I might have to look that up. It definitely wasn't Pixar though. It was the DreamWorks Sinbad movie.
Sinbad.
Have you ever watched this movie?
I don't think I have. No.
Oh my
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
You have to watch it. It is so brilliant. It's got 3D animation in it. They dropped a ton of money on it. So the animation is like super smooth in some parts. There's lots of action. There's sexy ladies. There's just like everything.
Oh, snap. Michelle Pfeiffer. Brad Pitt's in it?
Yeah, Brad Pitt is Sinbad.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay. Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
I've never seen this.
Oh, please go watch it.
I might have to.
Oh.
It has a bad review score.
Well, people are wrong.
45% on Rotten Tomatoes, Char. Oh, I don't know about this one.
Please go watch it. Please. For Brad Pitt is Sinbad. It's just so good.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
It's not very well known. Because
Yeah.
DreamWorks, that was a time where DreamWorks was kind of like experimenting with like animated stuff, I feel. And then that's why they got Brad Pitt, because they were like, oh, this movie might bomb. We need to get somebody big in this movie. I'm pretty sure that's why they had him in there. But
Are they the ones that made The Prince of Egypt? I remember that one.
I think it was the same people, yeah.
I went to the theater
Prince
for
of
that
Egypt
one.
almost made my list, by the way, because that's also a fantastic fucking movie.
I remember liking that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same ones.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's great.
Sinbad.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
Number 2.
Mhm.
It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze.
What?
Amazing. What do you mean, what?
Okay, well, you haven't seen this in bed, so I haven't seen this one.
What?
What do you mean, what? I never was into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that much.
Oh my. All right. Backlog's over. Good night, everybody. I can't
end
believe
it right
this. No, it was, the old school Ninja Turtles movies where...
I think I watched part of it. I think it was on TV, and I think I watched the majority of it.
Oh man, the first one's good. Don't get me wrong. I do like the first one, but the second one just took it up a notch. It was just, oh man. I honestly feel like I have to, what's the word? Like I have to credit the Ninja Turtles with why I like pizza so much. I'm serious about this, because when I was a kid, we used to eat pizza and watch the movie. Like, that was, like, our thing. Like, my
honestly,
dad,
how else
my
do
sister...
you watch them, though?
Right? It starts off the movie with people eating pizza. Like,
Yeah.
it's, like, the thing. And they always eat pizza, too. So, it's just such a good movie. It's funny. Like, even when I watch it now, it's hilarious. It makes me laugh. It's just so good. So good. So, yeah, that's my number 2. Which I didn't even intend for that. It is the second movie, and it is my number 2. So that worked out.
That worked out. So my number 3 is also another animated film. However, it's probably one of my favorite animated films. One of. I have many. And it was the one that I do remember watching a lot as a kid. It's Aladdin.
There you go.
Disney's Aladdin. Because, god damn it, Robin Williams was just the best in this movie. I just could not. It was just,
He was great
I'll
in
still
so
watch
many
it to this
movies.
day, and I'm just like, I know all of the lines. It's like great.
All the songs and everything.
I know all the songs. It's great. It's so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a Disney movie. I forgot to mention, I purposely didn't put any Disney movies on my list because I'd be here forever. And there's just too many to list. Like, we were talking about Lion King before we started recording. We were talking about that. I was talking about Jungle Book. Oh, God. Alice in Wonderland. Beauty and the Beast. Like, the list goes on and on and on.
I mean, it's too old. It's too new of a movie to put on my list, but if I could, I would have put Tarzan on my list.
Tarzan. I think I've seen that once.
What?
I think.
Moving on.
And the live action one, too, right? Because there's a live action.
Oh my god, the live action one I watched when I was a kid.
I remember that, too.
It was so good. I gotta watch it again.
I can't wait for that Lion King, the new one. I'm gonna be in there with all the kids. They're making it like the Jungle Book, but they're doing the Lion King. But anyways,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's coming out. All right, so yeah, I purposely it's because I wanted to make this easier on myself because I watched so many Disney movies growing up. Like, it'd be too hard to make this list.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, it'd be way too freaking hard. So yeah, number 3 is actually an animated movie though, and it's The Land Before Time. The Land Before Time.
Fuck!
Sure.
How can I forget?
I had a feeling you would kick yourself. I didn't mention this before. I was like, I'm not going to mention it till the podcast because
Oh my god!
she's going to kick herself. Land Before Time is like a rite of passage. Like, you have, like, as a kid growing up in the 90s, you had to watch The Land Before Time. Or did it come out in the 80s? Maybe it was the 80s.
I want to say early 90s, but it could have been late 80s.
Well, whether you're an 80s baby or 90s baby, like, Land Before Time was a must.
I remember that.
Remember Sarah?
I think I watched. Yeah, I remember Sarah. Oh my god.
Everybody hated Sarah.
Everybody hated Sarah.
What a brat. I remember that, man. I
remember watching the movie and just being like, Sarah, shut up. Like,
Like what a sour puss. She was just such like a little baby. But I remember just watching this movie like with all kinds of different sets of friends. Anytime different friends would come over, I'd be like, "You want to watch Land Before Time?" Like I would just watch it with everybody. When like my parents would watch it with us, like I just remember that movie making me feel so sad. Like as a kid, that's a
sad movie, man.
Yeah, and to have those kinds of emotions as a kid was just like, I trip out on it now. It's like, damn, that was an emotional movie. It's crazy. Like I would feel like this emptiness, like this weird,
that scene, man.
Yeah, such a good movie.
It's so well done too. God damn it.
I never really cared. Like I didn't watch the sequels. I forbid myself from watching. I was like, I didn't watch it.
All right. Well, I haven't watched all the sequels. I think I watched up like 3 or 4, and some of those are actually pretty good though.
Maybe, I don't know. I just remember as a kid, I was like, nope. I don't want to watch those. I remember feeling that. I don't know why. Maybe I thought they weren't going to be good or as good or something. Who knows? But yeah,
well,
I think that's the only animated movie I got on my list.
Yeah. All right. Well, my next one is probably I think it's the oldest one on this list, actually. Because, like, you don't know this about me, but whenever there was, like, old movies on TV, I love watching, like, black and white movies on TV that just came up on, like, the movie channels or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so there was this one movie that caught my eye, and that is Singing in the Rain.
Okay.
And I don't remember for the life of me when it came out, but it is in color. But, like, this is my, like, rainy day movie. Like, to this day, if it's, like, a rainy day and I'm feeling, like, just, like, I want to watch a movie, like, I'll put Singing in the Rain on. It's, like, pretty long, but, like, whatever. And it's basically what it is. Have you seen it?
I don't think I have. I'm looking at it right now. It came out in 1952.
Yes. Yeah.
Damn.
It was in 1952.
So is it a musical?
It is a musical.
Okay.
It's like the OG musical. It's pretty damn good. It's got some weird parts to it, but it's a 50s movie, so like, what do you expect, really? But the acting is great. The dancing is great. It's got tap dancing. That's my favorite kind of dance to watch in movies. I love tap dancing in movies. I wish they did more. That's why I like watching old movies like that that have tap dancing, and it's just like, oh, that's so hard to do, but it still looks so cool. It's got tap dancing.
See, I'm looking at it. I do think I've seen at least some of this, like when he's dancing in the rain.
Yeah,
like he's legit.
It's called Singing in the Rain because it's literally the song is Singing in the Rain. Yeah.
Okay,
and
cool.
It's such a, I want to say such a wholesome movie, but it's just one of those movies where it's like, you could show it to a kid and they'll just like enjoy it because it has color and dancing and like just singing and like, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, and they got like the umbrellas and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it, but I don't know like the story or nothing. I don't know. But nice choice. Yeah.
You're like, I don't know what this movie is for sure.
I mean, because I thought about putting like older movies too, like Wizard of Oz. Like I thought about that because I did watch that as a kid, but it was such an old movie. I was like, I don't know if I should put it, but I definitely, that's an honorable mention for me. Yeah. Okay, so we're down to number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about this already. I got Hook there. That's.
I would have put it on my list, but you have it on your list, so I'm totally fine with that.
You can copy, it's okay. Yeah, my list is dominant. I know.
So good, though.
Yeah, I really wanted... I was picking between this and Mrs. Doubtfire, and even Jumanji. I was looking at, like, Robin Williams, because I was like, I gotta have a Robin Williams movie in this thing. Like, I have to. And Hook, I think, stood out the most, because that's just, like you said, the perfect kid movie. It's a bunch of kids in the movie for one, and just like their personalities and like the story of Peter Pan, and so it's got that in there. And I love the scene where they're eating imaginary food. That scene always, like, I don't know what it is. I get super nostalgic about that scene.
That's so good.
Yeah, and then they have like the food fight.
I kind of take back my comment now though, because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, there's some really adult stuff that happens in that movie.
A lot of these movies, like growing up, we never knew because we're kids. We're all innocent. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. But when you watch them now, you're like, wait a minute, I don't remember that. like that adult theme or whatever. Yeah, it happens.
There's like, what's in that movie? There's kidnapping, there's a death, and there's also like the stress he has like between him and his wife.
Yeah.
And it's just like, those three things are like so freaking adult that you're just like, you rewatch it as an adult and you're like, damn, this is so deep, man.
Isn't there stuff kind of going on between, well, I don't think they do anything, but like Julia Roberts, because you know how she's the pixie or whatever, and like when she's talking, I think there's like some stuff going on there, like innuendos or something. Like I don't know exactly, but I remember watching it later in life, and I was like, huh, they're like flirting or something. I don't know. I just remember thinking something about that. Yeah.
And you know, Rufio was everybody's fucking heartthrob, man.
Oh, of course.
It's so good.
Rufio.
Oh my god. And there's also like the kid themes of like believing in yourself and trusting in like, you know, trusting in your friends and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
So fun. All right, what's your last?
My last one is pretty basic, but like it had to be on this list because it's everything. It's Star Wars: A New Hope.
Okay, nice. You got some older flicks on here, but I like it.
I don't really, honestly, like, other than, like, Marvel movies, haven't really, like, had any interest in, like, newer movies so much. I like action movies, is what it is. And then, like, a lot of, like, the older movies, like, 90s movies will go into, like, a lot of, I don't know, the way they're shot and the way, like, they're acted and stuff is totally different from now, and I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Wars is great. That's one that I wish I watched as a kid. I honestly, I don't even remember the first time I saw Star Wars. Like, I was older, though.
I don't remember exactly, but I know it was, like, I was, like, at least 11 or 12.
Yeah. I mean, I watched Spaceballs, like, 100 times, but I didn't watch Star Wars, which was crazy, right?
That's insane.
Right? I don't know.
Spaceballs is, like, 10 times better if you know all the references.
Yeah, now I get it, you know, but... I don't know, Star Wars was always kind of one of those things where, like, I didn't have to see the movie to know it. Like, because it's so talked about and simple of a story, you know, as far as the Jedi and becoming the Jedi, then you take down the Force or the dark side. The dark side, I mean. You use the Force, take down the dark side.
Like, I kind of watched the movie.
Yeah, but like I remember as a kid knowing that was Star Wars, but I didn't watch it. It's weird. Yeah.
Interesting.
Spaceballs is legit, though. Don't hate on Spaceballs. That would be in my top 10.
It's in my runner-up, for sure. It's definitely in top 10.
So good. I watched that so many times. But yeah.
What do you got?
But not to take away from... You got to say more on Star Wars. You didn't say that much.
I got to say more on Star Wars? What do you mean? I watched Star Wars.
I feel like I cut you off. I didn't mean to. I just got excited.
There's not much to say. Pretty much everybody at this point has seen Star Wars, and like I don't think it's that surprising of a pick.
Okay, and for my last pick, this was hard. There's so many movies that can go right here, but I went with the Addams Family. The Addams Family. Yeah, it was. I don't know. Just it's very nostalgic for me. I feel like the music, you know, when they had that little scene where the mamushka scene, and they're dancing and
I'm gonna tell you a secret.
What?
I haven't actually watched that movie.
Well, for the people listening, mamushka. Okay, that scene as a kid, I just loved that scene. I don't know, it was the music and it was like the dancing, the knives and all the things they're doing with the knives. Like that, for some reason, just really stuck with me. And I don't know, I like that movie. And that one actress, the one that plays Wednesday. Oh, what's her name? She was in Casper. What the hell's her name? She was big in the 90s. I'm going to kick myself. I'm going to find it right now. But she was also in another movie called Now and Then. And she was like one of my favorite actresses or whatever. Christina Ricci. There it is. Christina Ricci. She was Wednesday. And I just liked her. I liked how she portrayed Wednesday. And Addams Family was a show that my dad grew up on. So my dad was like really into the movies and he'd watch it with us. And we would just laugh and laugh and laugh. So like, yeah, the Addams Family, I I chose that one. But there's so many runner-ups. I don't know if you want to name some of yours, because I have
I'll
a bunch.
I'll run through my runner-ups. Most of my runner-ups actually are like when I watched it, like when I wasn't a kid, but they're still like, you know, below. I don't know. I want to say below when I was like 16. They're like in that area or whatever. So I have Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the 1991 film with Kevin Reynolds, because I love that movie. Back to the Future, because that's some wholesome fucking entertainment for a kid. I tell you what. I watched Indiana Jones when I was pretty young too. Like the first one. I never really watched the second one. We kind of just skipped that one because it was so violent. My mom didn't really want me to watch it, and I was like, eh, whatever. The third one also was like, I watched the third one like so many times now. It's great. Groundhog Day. Okay. Because Groundhog Day is freaking amazing. How could I not love that movie? I also have Spaceballs, obviously, the Spaceballs. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I also had Breakfast Club on here, but I think I watched that actually like much later in life. But then I was thinking about it, and I watched another old film, which I watched a million times, was The Parrot Trap, which has been redone a million times, but the one that I watched was the one with Haley Mills, where it was actually quite brilliant, because in The Parent Trap, they're supposed to have twins, but Haley Mills didn't have a twin. She was one actor. So they filmed everything like she had a twin, but it was just her talking to herself. And this movie was like, I don't remember how old this movie is. It's like 19... I looked it up before we started, and it was like 19, I want to say 70-something or 60-something. It might even be older than that, but it's like, it's so good.
So it's like before technology could like duplicate her, maybe?
It was like, yeah, so the technology that they used was basically they would shoot a shot with a background and her doing one part, and then they would like overlap, like they would shoot it again with her as the other part and like overlap them that way.
That's crazy.
It was so
because they remade it with like Lindsay Lohan, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say that one, but I don't think.
No,
I never even saw that one, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
I don't think I did.
But I don't know. After the fact that I learned that, I was like, wow, that's quite brilliant, actually. And the movie itself is like, I don't know. It's an older movie, so I like older movies. So it's just great.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah. I can't really say the same. I always wanted to get into older movies. Like I saw the old Bates Motel. Is that what it's called? No, Psycho. Bates Motel is the TV show. My bad.
Oh, snap.
Psycho. Yeah, I went back and watched Psycho and like little movies like that, like To Kill a Mockingbird. I think I saw that in school, and I really liked it. You know. So there's a few movies like that, but for the most part, no. I feel like I should watch more older movies. I should. Was that your all your list?
Yeah, that's my runner-up list.
Okay, I have a lot.
You have a lot. How many do you have?
Well, okay, there's a big gap I'm missing. Like not gap, but there's a big actor that I really wanted to put in the list because he has so many great movies, and that's Jim Carrey. I feel like Jim Carrey was so essential in my childhood. So like good. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Cable Guy. Like Cable Guy was like huge for me.
Oh my god, I'm blanking on one of them. Shit, what is it called? Pet Detective.
Yeah, Ace Ventura. Oh god. Yeah, both of them. Both of them were good. But yeah, I have other ones like Jurassic Park, Speed, White Men Can't Jump. I really loved that movie. White Men Can't Jump. My dad would watch it a lot, so we would watch it. Homeward Bound was great. Spaceballs, like I said. I have a whole list. I have another paper right here. The Sandlot, Beethoven, My Girl, Home Alone, which is like a given. Who doesn't like Home Alone? Problem Child, Big. I have a whole list.
So many.
Turner and Hooch was another one I watched when I was a kid. I remember I had chicken pox, and I remember I was laying on the couch, I was resting, and my mom put on Turner and Hooch. I don't know if you know that movie. It's with Tom Hanks, old school like 80s movie. And I just remember being sick and watching that movie, and the movie just made me feel better or something. I feel like it's a happy memory, even though I was sick. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. My list.
All right, all right.
Oh, Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is pretty good list, man.
So much nostalgia.
So much.
I was saying we could go through some of the lists that people gave to me on Twitter, but we're kind of going over time. I don't know. What do you think? Like,
Make it a Patreon.
We've been talking for a hot minute. I'll put it on the Patreon.
Just edit this out and make it a Patreon thing.
All right. So if you're a patron of mine, you'll get some behind the scenes stuff. Shameless plug. You can go over there right now, become a patron, and I put like behind the scenes stuff when it comes to the backlog or other things. Like I talk about whatever over there. You'll see. Just go over there, check it out. But everybody who's listening, if you are on the Patreon, we'll go ahead and talk more about this there. I'll put some clips up and stuff. But what I wanted to do, and which you can anticipate, is we were going to go through some of these lists that some people sent to me on Twitter, and we're going to rate them.
All right,
we're going to rate them.
Let me grab this tweet.
There's like three. There's like 3 of them.
Is there responses to that tweet this morning?
Yeah. But for now, for everybody here on just YouTube, we can go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah.
But this is a good episode. We talked a lot.
We talked a lot.
My recording says that we're at 1 hour and 14 minutes.
Oh, no!
And some has to be edited, but still, I don't know. This could be a long one. I'm going to have to play...
This is a long one.
I'm going to play God of War 3 and put all that in the background of this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, Shar, for helping me again with these topics. You want to close this out?
Yeah. This is the Backlog, and I'm Shar, and that was Erica, and we are out.
We are out. See you guys next time. Peace.